Tonight's main story revolves around Pepsi. Like the handjob of soft drinks, it's never your first choice, but you'll take it anyways. Now, 2 years ago yesterday, on April 4, 2017, Pepsi released its Live For Now campaign, the political activism and protest-based advertisement in which Pepsi wanted to join the conversation on current social issues. Boldly venturing where other brands wouldn't, casting a diverse range of hot millennial extras for what seems to be the Attractive Lives Matter protest, transforming Kendall Jenner, a culturally conscious white woman, into the voice of a generation. After making eye contact with a cute boy who decides to bring a cello along to a protest, yes, a cello, Kendall decides to join the cause. Then, in a wig-removing, lipstick-smearing moment of defiance, they make sharing Pepsi the solution. Well, the world took note of this as the advertisement was criticized for trivializing institutional racism, co-opting and appropriating the imagery of protest movements such as that of the Black Lives Matter movement, which has claimed a multitude of lives. One life lost that will not be forgotten took place in 2013, where George Zimmerman was acquitted of manslaughter after he shot and killed Trayvon Martin, an unarmed black teenager. The trial and its outcome sparked national outrage, inspiring the Black Lives Matter movement. In support of George Hegel's dialectics, this oppression the black community suffered swept across the nation and continued to gain momentum as social media exposed more examples of the victimization of black Americans. This dissatisfaction with the circumstances led to a state of relative deprivation. This social movement organized by this collectivity sought to inspire social change, such as the localized collectivities, the riots, that formed from this in-group solidarity, which is also subsequently the base of conflict theory. However, what might differentiate this movement from similar ones in the past is the fact that so many confrontations are now being captured and shared through social media. In the past, without this media, social change was reliance on current people, inspired through their personality and charisma. Martin Luther King Jr., for example, whose actions have helped to make the world a better place. Bernice King, the daughter of civil rights leader, however, certainly joined the conversation, posting a photo of her father with the tag, "If only daddy would have known the power of #Pepsi." And the video was released on April 4th, the 49th anniversary of King's assassination. Yeah. It's quite evident that racism is institutionalized. Perhaps the interdisciplinary approach of critical race theory explains this best. A commercial produced by white men featuring a white female protagonist about black oppression. It makes about as much sense as giving a KFC gift card to PETA members. But speaking of white meat, Richard Dreyer's book Whites addresses the privilege of whiteness. Whites are not of a certain race. They're just the human race. What? From this deracializing of whiteness and ethnocentrism, disturbing dualisms can emerge. One example may be the democratic racism observed in these movements are backed by institutional power. Conflict theorists argue that since the rich and powerful maintain their control over society, the vested interests of the rich and powerful will be prioritized rather than upholding the legal principle of equality. Pepsi soon realized their mistake and published a statement. Pepsi was trying to project a global message of unity, peace, and understanding. Clearly, we missed the mark, and we apologize. We did not intend to make light of any serious issue. We are removing the content and halting further rollout. We also apologize for putting Kendall Jenner in this position. No shit. Oh, and sorry Kendall, for your $3 million paycheck to be in this awkward position. However, this isn't the first time we've seen a Kardashian being filmed in an awkward position. Yet, there's no denying that Kendall Jenner is influential due to her celebrity status. People look up to her. She's a popular white woman in a position of power. In the media, the Jenner twins used to be the host of the most liked picture on the Instagram platform. That is, until it was overtaken by a egg. So there's that. According to the conflict theorists, mass media is a vehicle used by the rich, powerful, and privileged to control the masses. This perspective is commonly referred to as a propaganda model, which asserts that, since the dominant media are commercial enterprises such as Pepsi, their content will reflect the interests of the rich and powerful, Kendall Jenner, who influence the opinions of the majority of the population at the expense of the minority. These moral and political interests deemed important can cause conflict. When the minority status affects access to these socially valued resources, this is a basis of the visible class stratification. In this commercial, Kendall Jenner seems to have more power than the rest of the people. She's the hero that easily fixes the issues that the protesters can't. This social stratification is the mechanism that institutionalizes inequality. Feminist theories such as the emphasized femininity and the racial sexual double standard focuses on the inaccurate representations of the average woman in media. Like Kendall, always white, supportive, and sexually attractive, while the protesters, the black community, are seen as irrational and rebellious. Corporate giants seem to be socially aware, yet perhaps this perceived awareness is only to boost product sales. Maybe this backlash was sought after, as controversy is sketchy, as we're still discussing this 2 years later. Yet, the fact that this advertisement somehow made it through, I can't imagine how many meetings, edits, pitches, and who knows who gave the thumbs up. This is mind-boggling. The only people that weren't mad about the advertisement were the people at Coke. They loved it. Pepsi needs to explore the confines of corporate responsibility. This commercial ends with a message even more profound than join the conversation. Live, for now, especially if you're Pepsi's marketing department, because I don't think you guys are going to be there for you. Stick around, we have more for you tonight.